もう一回だ。
Hey! Okay, I just ruined my opening line. But yeah, hey! I am Ritik Agrawal, your host for today's video, and today we're talking about the top 7 animes that are perfect for beginners. So, in case you're just getting started with anime, you should definitely check out this list. Well, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So starting off with number 7, we have Parasyte the Maxim. Now, this anime is one of my personal favorites, and even though this anime does all the things correctly and checks out all the boxes, Parasyte the Maxim is one of the most underrated animes in the entire anime community. It's set in modern day Japan, which is just starting to get infested by aliens known as, well, parasites. Now these parasites, they take over a person's mind, essentially making them human-eating monsters. Now, in this world that is slowly sliding into chaos, we have our protagonist, Shiinchi. Shiinchi also gets attacked by a parasite, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, instead of taking over Shiinchi's mind, the parasite takes over his hand. And this is where it all starts to go downhill. Shiinchi is put in a really troubled position where he's neither a parasite nor a human. This show, it gets emotional, it has really great action scenes, it has romance, and just when you think things are going good for our protagonist, things get messed up. In short, you should definitely give Parasyte the Maxim a shot. Next on number 6, we have Cowboy Bebop. Unlike Parasyte the Maxim, Cowboy Bebop is one of the most famous animes of all time. As a matter of fact, Netflix is even making a live-action TV series of the same. Now, the universe that Cowboy Bebop is set in is more like a combination of Star Wars and Star Trek with some cyberpunkish vibes. So yes, if you love Star Wars or Star Trek for that matter, you might like Cowboy Bebop a lot. And even if you don't love sci-fi settings, Cowboy Bebop still has a lot to offer. Our protagonists in this anime are a group of misfits who do bounty hunting for a living. And one of the reasons this anime is so good is because the backstories of all the protagonists is just perfectly crafted, and every other character in this anime is just perfectly placed. Cowboy Bebop is just amazing. It has a great setting, great characters who actually have good sense of humor, and not to mention one of the best anime openings of all time. Also, if you're going through a bit of an existential crisis, the protagonists have a lot of good life advice to offer. On number 5, we have The Rising of the Shield Hero. The Rising of the Shield Hero is the first isekai on our list. Now, since you're a beginner, you're probably wondering what is the meaning of this weird word that I just said. So, isekai is a category of anime where the protagonists are transferred from their normal everyday world, which in most cases is modern day Japan, to a fantasy world, which in most cases is a video game. And yeah, so that is exactly what happens with our protagonist Naofumi in this anime. He is transported to a fantasy world, and he is pretty much the same as he was in the normal world, except he's strong, has a shield attached to his hand that he can never remove. Yeah, that's all. But the catch is that Naofumi isn't the only hero from another world. There are 3 more: the Spear Hero, the Sword Hero, and the Bow Hero. And because Naofumi is the Shield Hero with no attack capabilities, he is discriminated around the whole country, so much so that he is even falsely accused of raping the king's daughter. Now I know this could be a lot to take in, but when you watch the anime, I'm pretty sure you're going to love it because Naofumi is a great protagonist, and a great hero for that matter. And you'll see him get humiliated by others a lot, but the satisfaction you get when you see him redeeming his honor in front of the world is just vivid. So yeah, if you like fantasy, you should definitely give this anime a try. Now moving on to number 4, we have One Punch Man. One Punch Man is a really special anime because unlike most animes that have an overpowered character who gets all the girls, defeats all the enemies, and makes every other hero around them jealous, One Punch Man doesn't. Oh wait, that's the script of Re:Zero. One Punch Man should be renamed Overpowered Man because Saitama, the main character of One Punch Man, is so overpowered that he defeats anyone he fights with just one punch. And I'm not even making this up. He defeats everyone with just one punch. But then you might ask, why is this anime on our list? Well, because it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's really funny. And the world it's set in is a world full of superheroes like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the DC Universe. But for someone who can literally defeat anyone with just a single punch, Saitama is not at all famous. No one knows him, and the story is designed in such a way that even though you know Saitama is going to win, you just keep watching the show for its comedy and the satisfaction it gives. Now, if you decide to watch this show, at least watch the first 3 episodes, and even then, if you don't like, we have another supernatural show for you. So, moving on to number 4, we have Tokyo Ghoul. First of all, Tokyo Ghoul is one of the most controversial animes of all time. Why is that, you might ask? Well, it's because apparently the people who made this anime changed the story from the original story that the manga had. Oh yes, you're a beginner, so you probably don't know what a manga is. Well, a manga is essentially a black and white comic, and most of the animes that you watch they're adopted from such mangas. So yeah, there you go. Now back to Tokyo Ghoul. Even though the anime wasn't what the manga intended it to be, the anime was actually pretty good. Now the story is about Kaneki. He's your average nerd, just average. And one day he goes on a date with a really beautiful woman who you can tell by looking is definitely out of his league. And at the end of the day, it turns out that the woman who he went on a date with was a human eating ghoul, has otherworldly powers, and wants to eat Kaneki. But due to some unforeseen circumstances, the cool woman dies before she can eat Kaneki, and Kaneki gets very injured. Now, in order to protect Kaneki from dying, doctors transplant the ghoul woman's organ into Kaneki, making him half ghoul, half human. Voila. And yeah, this is where the shit happens. Kaneki doesn't like normal food. He can only eat human flesh now. Other ghouls want to eat Kaneki. The whole I don't belong with ghouls or with humans drama. You know what I mean. But or maybe you don't. But yeah, this anime can get dark quite a lot of times. But this anime has a lot to offer. The art is amazing. The story is really great. The character development is pretty good as well. Now on number 2 we have Re:Zero. Now Re:Zero is another isekai on our list. One day after buying his groceries, our main protagonist Subaru is suddenly transported into another world. A world full of knights, wizards and witches, but unlike most other people who gain superpowers when they get transported into another world, our protagonist Subaru just doesn't. He does not have any superpowers. He is just your normal being with average strength. But I mean, it's not like that Subaru doesn't gain anything. He does gain a power. Like I said, it's not strength or intelligence or some sword like Excalibur, but a power that resets everything and lets Subaru start from the beginning when he dies. And that's just the problem, right? Subaru dies a lot. I tell you now that if you decide to watch this anime, you will laugh with this anime and you will cry with it. Because it's just so good. You see you see Subaru losing over and over again. You see how helpless he is. You see him begging people to save his loved ones. And then you see him fixing everything. You see him change things. He changed things in a way that people who he was literally begging to in another life Those people are ready to lay their lives on the battlefield for him in this life. I got to tell you, watching this anime is really one of the best feelings ever. Now, on number one, we have Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan was the first ever anime that I watched, and it really got me hooked into anime. So much so that I even read the Attack on Titan manga. Now, Attack on Titan is set in a world which is surrounded by really, really tall walls. Really, really tall walls. Walls, walls. Now, the purpose of these walls is to keep really, really big, walking, human eating monsters out of their country. And yes, these walls fulfill those purposes until one day a really, really big titan who's actually taller than those walls comes and just breaks the outermost walls. Yeah, I know, it's a lot of walls. It's confusing. So, a really big titan comes, he breaks through the walls so all the other titans can get inside the country. Now, this is where the story for our protagonists, Eren, Mikasa, and the blonde guy begins. They enlist in the army and they join the Survey Corps. Now, Survey Corps are the people who are responsible for keeping any and every threat out of the walls. Well, mainly those threats are titans. So yeah, they kill titans and have really big swords and a machine that lets them swing like Spider-Man. This anime is just really something different. When you think, okay, now I can predict what will happen next, just then, something totally different will happen. This anime is got a really great world that will keep you interested. The action in this anime is just amazing. You see people dying, you see mutiny, the art is just amazing, and most of all, the story keeps you hooked. You see one episode and immediately you just want to know what happens next. So yeah, that's it. This is the end of the video, and if you noticed, this was actually my first video on this channel. So sorry if you felt like I was talking gibberish, which I was, or my content wasn't great, which it wasn't, or there were background noises, maybe there were, I don't know. But yeah, I promise you I will try my best to improve the quality of my videos. I just need some support from you guys, and yeah, that's been it. If you feel like this video helped you, please subscribe to my channel, as I'll be making more videos like this. Thank you for watching. Peace.